You're standing in the grocery store checkout line, watching the cashier scan your items, milk, eggs, bread, chicken. The total climbs, 47, 68, and 89. And in your head, you're doing that calculation, the one you've done 1,000 times before. If I spend $95 here, I'll have enough for gas until Friday. But then the electric bill hits on Thursday, and I still need to eat next week. It's exhausting, isn't it? That constant mental accounting, that background anxiety humming in your brain every time you swipe your card. But then something changes. 1 month, you earn $5,000, and the next time you're at that same checkout line, something feels different. You pay, you leave, and only later do you realize you didn't check your bank balance first. That moment. That's not just about money. It's about something much deeper. Most people think financial transformation happens at 6 figures, or when you become a millionaire, or when you can buy a sports car without blinking. But the truth is, the most important financial shift in your life probably happens much earlier than that. And for a lot of people, it happens right around $5,000 a month. Now, I'm not saying $5,000 a month makes you rich. It doesn't. But it does something more important than that. It changes how your brain works. It changes what you believe about yourself. And it opens doors you didn't even know were closed. Let me explain. $5,000 a month is about $60,000 a year. That's not elite income. In most places, that's right around the median. It's not luxury. It's not wealth. It's stability. But here's the thing. For someone who's been living on $2,500 or $3,000 a month, that jump to $5,000 isn't just doubling your income. It's crossing a threshold. You're moving from below average to average, from struggling to stable, from surviving to actually having options. And that changes everything. When you're broke, money consumes your mental bandwidth. You're constantly thinking about it, worrying about it, calculating it. Every decision becomes a financial decision. Can I afford this coffee? Should I Uber or take the bus? Can I go out with friends tonight, or do I need to save that $40 for something more important? It's not just stressful. It's cognitively exhausting. Studies show that financial scarcity actually reduces your IQ in the moment. It's like trying to solve complex problems while someone's screaming in your ear. But when you consistently earn more, something shifts. Your brain stops operating in crisis mode. The constant fear fades into the background. You start making decisions from a place of calm instead of panic. And suddenly, you have mental energy for things that actually matter. Strategy, growth, long-term planning. You're not smarter. You're just not drowning anymore. And there's something else. When you prove to yourself that you can earn $5,000 in a month, you stop seeing yourself as someone who's just getting by. You start seeing yourself as someone who's capable, someone who has skills the market values, someone who can build something. That shift in identity, it's everything. Now let's be realistic for a second. $5,000 a month doesn't mean you have $5,000 to spend. After taxes, health insurance, retirement contributions, and basic living expenses, you're probably taking home closer to $3,200 or $3,500. That's not poverty, but it's also not buy whatever you want money. What it is, though, is breathing room. It's the difference between one unexpected car repair destroying your month and one unexpected car repair being annoying but manageable. It's the difference between living in constant financial emergency and living in financial normalcy, and that matters more than people think. Here's what a lot of people don't realize. When your income grows, your habits change. You stop thinking like someone who's just trying to survive. You start thinking like someone who's running a business or a career intentionally. You start asking different questions. Not, can I afford this? But is this worth it? Not, will I run out of money? But am I investing this money in the right places? Your relationship with money shifts from fear-based to strategy-based, and over time something interesting happens. You stop feeling like an imposter. You stop waiting for everything to fall apart because you've done it now. Not once, not twice, but consistently, month after month. That builds a kind of confidence that no motivational quote ever could. Another thing that changes, your awareness of opportunities. When you're desperate for money, you say yes to everything. You take the low-paying client. You accept the terrible contract terms. You work for people who don't respect you because, well, you need the money. But when you're earning $5,000 a month consistently, you start to see things differently. You notice when a project is more complex than the client realizes. You recognize when someone's asking for $500 worth of work but trying to pay $150. You understand your own value better because you've seen what the market will actually pay for it. You don't have to take every opportunity anymore. You can evaluate. You can negotiate. You can say no, and that's power. But here's where most people mess it up. They think the secret to financial success is cutting out lattes, skipping avocado toast, bringing lunch from home. Those things are fine, but they're not what actually moves the needle. What moves the needle are the big decisions. Where you live, what you drive, how much you spend on subscriptions you don't use, whether you upgrade your lifestyle every time you get a raise. Because here's the trap. You go from $3,000 a month to $5,000 a month, and suddenly you feel like you can afford things. A nicer apartment, a newer car, that streaming service you didn't really need, premium everything, and before you know it, you're spending $4,800 a month instead Instead of $2,800, you're earning more, but you're not actually building anything. You're just running on a faster treadmill. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's the reason most people feel broke no matter how much they earn. Let's talk about career impact for a second. When you hit $5,000 a month, you start to understand something important. There's a limit to how much you can earn by trading time for money. If you're charging $25 an hour, getting to $5,000 a month means working 200 hours. That's 50 hours a week every week. It's possible, but it's brutal. But if you can charge $50 an hour, now you only need 100 hours. That's 25 hours a week. Suddenly you have time to think, to improve, to build systems. Or maybe you stop charging hourly altogether. You start packaging your services. You start pricing based on value instead of time. You start getting paid for your expertise, not just your labor. That's when income can really scale, because you're no longer limited by how many hours you can physically work. But even with all this progress, there's a mistake I see over and over again. People earn more and immediately spend more. They upgrade their life at the exact same pace as their income, and they end up in the same stressed position they were in before, just with nicer stuff. The $3,000 a month version of you was stressed about money. The $5,000 a month version of you is still stressed about money, just with a better apartment and a car payment. Nothing actually changed. You just rearranged the furniture. So here's the thing about savings that most people miss. Saving money isn't about restriction. It's about options. When you have 3 months of expenses saved, you can turn down a bad client. You can quit a toxic job. You can take a week to think about an opportunity instead of saying yes out of fear. When you have 6 months saved, you can negotiate harder. You can take a temporary pay cut for a better long-term position. You can make career moves based on strategy instead of desperation. Savings isn't about saying no to life. It's about saying yes to the right things and no to the wrong things. It's freedom, not restriction. So let's bring this full circle. Reaching $5,000 a month isn't the finish line. It's the starting line. It's the point where survival mode ends and intentional building begins. It's where you stop reacting to money and start controlling it. It's where your brain gets clear enough to think about the future instead of just surviving the present. But here's the catch. The income itself doesn't save you. What saves you is what you do with it. You can earn $5,000 a month and still be broke. You can earn $10,000 a month and still live paycheck to paycheck. Because income without discipline just means you're stressed at a higher tax bracket. The real transformation isn't in the number on your paycheck. It's in how you think, how you decide, how you build. It's in recognizing that financial peace doesn't come from earning more. It comes from building systems, controlling spending, and creating options. The $5,000 a month isn't about becoming rich. It's about becoming free. Free from constant anxiety. Free to make better decisions. Free to build something that lasts. And that's worth more than any number in your bank account.